It's a question that has generated a lot of controversy. Should NASA's space program be brought back to Earth? Before you answer that question, stay tuned. Government spending in space is what inspired tonight's Open Mic.
Recent budget battles on Capitol Hill have brought wasteful spending to the forefront, whether it's $16 muffins or $100 hammers or a $6 billion NASA program that has yet to put a single weather satellite into orbit. That's right, the Joint Polar Satellite System has spent huge taxpayer money over the last 10 years for zero results. The $200 million orbiting Carbon Observatory satellite failed on launch back in 2009, and the $425 million Glory satellite spent exactly 5 minutes and 17 seconds in the air until it too failed and crashed back to Earth. Now, of all people, you would think a meteorologist like myself would be all for this program, but it's been one epic failure after another, and we can't shrug that off any longer. Now, another $900 million weather satellite is scheduled to launch in October. With our track record, I guess we just cross our fingers and hope for the best. Heaven help us if we go 0 for 3. There would be no conceivable way that we could justify the additional $12 billion for this program through 2024. One viable option, though, may be to build the satellites right here in the U.S. and then lease rockets from Russia to send them up into space. Because what we're doing right now obviously isn't working, and we're paying a steep price for failure. I'd love to hear what you think. All you have to do is go to weather.com/openmic. I'm Mike Bettis, and the mic is always open.
Time now to ask Cantore. And Jim, I imagine you get questions all the time from people.
It can be quite a task.
And that's the thing, it's a task. Some questions have easy answers.
Right.
Some don't have easy answers. A little more complicated than that, right, like the atmosphere. Let's get right to it. Mark Duckworth asks, have any idea for the record length of time that a cutoff low has actually stayed in one area?
Yeah, and of course, I see why this question came up, because we've been dealing with a cutoff low for
days.
a week over the Midwest. And what's interesting about this one, too, and the answer, first of all, no, I don't. There's no way I could go back and look at the records there. But first of all, this cutoff low was actually replaced by another one. But the good news is, Chris, is the 1 second that's replaced it is actually going to get kicked onto the southeast, and we're all going to feel the benefits of that in that cooler, drier air mass and maybe even some snow at the higher elevation. So, you know, when you get a true cutoff low, the longer they last, the longer they can persist. But 2 weeks is not out of the question for these at longest length.
Okay, now we're going to talk about something that you're very familiar with. We're going to talk about hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons. And Rocky Doris asked that question, what's the difference between a hurricane, a cyclone, and a typhoon?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're all the same thing. It just depends on what ocean you're in. And just to kind of clarify this for you, if you're in the Atlantic and, of course, the Eastern Pacific, we always hear about hurricanes from the National Hurricane Center. Typhoons are in the West Pac, like we've got Typhoon Nisat over there working its way, a double landfall in China. I'll talk about that in the tropical update. And then there's the cyclones in the Southwest Pacific that we hear about also into the Indian Ocean. So all basically the same thing, strong tropical storms, if you will, creating tropical characteristics in different parts of the world.
Just what different areas choose to call it.
Exactly.
It's a couch or a sofa.
That's right.
Pop or soda.
That's right. That's
All right, let's head to Adam now for a look at what's happening online and on Twitter.
It's only soda. Pop is not allowed. Okay, everybody. Hey, the Weather Channel now has a first-of-its-kind partnership with Twitter called the Weather Channel Social. So let's see what people are saying about the weather right now. Here are the different cities on the right, and on the, I should say on your right, actual trends here. So in Indianapolis, number 5, sunshine, although we should be seeing some sunshine soon. Showers and thunderstorms moving through now. Chicago, it's all about wind. San Antonio, it's all about raining. Number 2, Houston, storms. Everyone's still getting excited about the wet weather in Texas, and the folks are tweeting, talking about how much they love the rain without some of the severe weather. Number 1 is New York City. Talking about a little rain here as well. We've got a couple of systems that get on out before we see the sunshine again. Crystal?
All right, next on the rundown, cold and wet. We'll talk about that and tracking storms out there tonight. Stay tuned.
So how was school today?
I have to be a tree in the school play.
Good. You like trees?
Well, I like climbing them, but I've never been